Yes.
Can you go ahead and share your screen? So we're going to let everybody take a look at the minutes, so that way we can approve those as soon as we get started. And everyone, I'm going to ask you to please put your name. If you've entered with a phone number, we will be removing people that do not put their name in. Thank you. At this point, we have 4 iPhones, and I'm going to ask you to change that.
Kim, just let me know when you want me to stop sharing because I can't see anything without because my screen is shared. So
Sure, we'll give it. You want to move to the second page?
sure.
We'll give you guys another 2 minutes to take a look at that while we get everybody in.
And just to clarify, you don't need to put your name in the chat. It's
I'm,
changing your
yeah, I'm
name.
sorry. Thank
Yeah,
you. Thanks,
because some people
Tiffany.
are starting to put their name. Only the vendors can let us know in the chat, but
Yeah.
anybody else, there is a rename button, yes.
And if you're unable to do it, let us know. Tiffany, did we make you a co-host yet? No. Okay. I will, I'm gonna go make a couple more co-hosts. I see our guest speaker, Mr. Rodriguez, is here. I will be 2 seconds.
I know. I told you. Did I not tell you that? It was like this little house. I did tell you that.
Just in case for those that are joining now, I'm going back to the first page so you can read the notes from the minutes from the last meeting. And then I will move to the next page for those that have just joined.
All right, that should have given everybody enough time to take a look at that. So first thing I would like to do is introduce myself. So we have a big crowd. I don't know if you all know who Tiffany and I are. My name is Kim Gillay, and along with Tiffany Roberts, we are the co-presidents of the Tech PA. And welcome and thank you so much for coming this evening. I would love a motion to call the meeting to order.
Motion called.
All right, second.
Motion. Second.
All right, thank you. All right, so we've given you a few minutes to take a look at our January minutes from our last meeting. So we can move on to this and get to what everybody really wants is our guest speaker and our vendor fair. Could I get a motion to approve the minutes?
Approved.
Approved.
Second?
Second.
All right, thank you. All right, that is wonderful. So at this time, oh, hello, Monique, just saw you jumping in. Anybody that's going to be working on the vendor fair, I'm going to go in when we have speakers and I'll make sure everybody becomes co-host. But right now, I just want to hand it over to our treasurer, Ken Hope.
Thank you, Kim. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, I'll be quick. And as you probably know, as required by the DOE, we need to submit the interim financial report to the school every January and make the report available to all the parents. So I will take a few minutes tonight to share with you the key highlights of the report. So starting from income on the left-hand side, we started the year in July with a little bit over $400,000 in the bank. And as of January, we recorded annual appeal income of $205,000, representing 82% of our annual appeal target, followed by 49,700 for Lunar New Year, 20,700 for merchandise sales, 1,800 for gala, and sponsorship of $21,000. So shout out to our sponsors tonight. Thank you. Based on the DOE formula, after combining the beginning cash balance, that brings our total income, in quotes, to slightly above $700,000. And then quickly moving to the right, you'll see the breakdown of our expenses for the same period. I won't go through every single one of them, but I will highlight a few major items here. So to generate revenues, we incurred fundraising expenses of almost 59,000, primarily merchandise purchases, gala deposit, and credit card fees. We also spent nearly $27,000 on teachers' wish list items, and we expect to reach the full 40,000 allocation amount once all outstanding invoices are paid. Next, we have 11,600 for freshman orientation, 9,300 for hospitality events, and 18,900 for college essay support. And In short, as of January 31st, our total spending was 148,000. And when you subtract that from our total income, we have almost $555,000 in the bank as of now. That pretty much wraps up what I need to say for now. I'll hand it back to you, Kim, and feel free to leave me a chat if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Ken. Sharon, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, I'm using the PC today. All right. Hi, this is Sharon. I am the VP of diversity. And as you all you know, like our Lunar New Year celebration will be on February 22nd. February 27th. And the mega raffle is still ongoing. If you haven't purchased the ticket, please start right now. You just spend $20 and you're going to win a big prize like 1,500, and you have 7 times to be picked. So spend 20 and you can win a lot. So please support us. All the proceeds will go to PA fund to fund the students and all the activities. And other than that, for the Lunar New Year, we are going to have 50-50 raffles, and we are going to have a gift baskets. We have over 30 gift basket to select. And other than that, we also have a merch sale, like wine sale and the Lunar New Year merch. And also don't forget to bring in cash because, we have a lot of raffles to spend, and we only have 2 square machine. It might take time if you bring in your credit card, so bring cash as possible, and also bring in some singles bills to fit the lion. We are going to have a lion dance by our Dragon Boat team, a club, and we are going to prepare the empty envelope on the table so you can put the single bills to the envelope, and you can feed the lion and also the God of Wealth. It will be fun night, and we are looking forward to see all of you. So don't forget to get the mega raffle right now. Good luck to all. Thank you.
Thanks, Sharon. All right, I'd like to hear from our fundraising team. Teresa Nadej, would you like to tell us about our big event that's coming up?
That would be Nadej.
After Lunar New Year, because we have a huge event coming up in February. Our next big event.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nadej, co-VP of fundraising, and we have exciting event coming in April. So it's our spring gala. It's April 24th, which is a Friday. So we get to boogie all night long. It's from 6 to 10 p.m. It's at Diker Beach Club. And we are going to have it. The theme is back to the 80s, and we'll be having dinner, open bar, live music, and we'll also have gift baskets raffle. And so early bird tickets are on sale right now, $130, and the price goes up February 28th. So get your tickets now, and we look forward to seeing you. And, always thank you for supporting our kids and our school. Thanks.
Thanks, Nadej. That's great. And if you guys are able to put the link in, yes, you have the gala. You guys have already got it in there. That's wonderful. Please, everybody, it's a lot of fun. I really hope you think about buying a ticket and coming, with the DJ, and we've got so many prizes that you can win. It'll be a great night. Okay, at this time, I would like to introduce our guest speaker. He is the assistant principal of engineering, technology, and CTE, and he's going to talk to you a little bit about the majors, as major fairs will be coming pretty soon. So he's going to talk to you about the majors that he's in charge of. So at this time, I would like you to all meet Mr. Mark Rodriguez. Mark?
Hello, how's everyone doing? First, before anything else, I want to get into. I want to thank you all for all that you give. Right, really, it's like all the resources that you pull together. Right, whether it's like time, effort, financial, being able to just contribute in so many ways. It means so much to the ethos of our school. And that being said, like more importantly, everything you give to your children, right? And helping them and encouraging them through their time and journey to Brooklyn Tech, through Brooklyn Tech and after Brooklyn Tech. It means the world to our students and to our community overall. So I wanted to, take a moment and thank everyone for every way that, that you all contribute to our community. So anyway, your major fair is coming up. So a lot of our sophomores, parents and, sophomore students have a lot of different questions. And of course, some of our freshmen too are worrying about this monumental sort of decision that they'll have to make, midway through their sophomore year. And so I wanted to shed a little light onto that, right? So I'm in charge of the CTE program here at Brooklyn Tech, and that encompasses, a big portion of the majors that you'll be choosing from, right? So to go down the list, I'm in, aerospace engineering, architecture, civil engineering, electrical engineering, industrial design, mechatronics, media, and software engineering. And software engineering is going through a change that I'll go through in about a moment or two. But essentially, what separates our CTE majors from the rest of our majors? I mean, let's get the elephant out of the room. All our majors are great, okay? And your students won't be making any mistakes. It doesn't matter. But what's going to separate our CTE majors and makes us unique, not just among Brooklyn Tech, but among all the different schools in the country. And what that is that our CTE majors are founded in industry. What does that mean? That means that a lot of our curriculum is really based on, projects and things like that that students would encounter in the actual fields that they're studying. So, for instance, in aerospace engineering, kids are working on manufacturing parts and components that would be used in like an airplane motor, so that sort of thing. Civil engineering, our students are testing concrete as field test engineers, doing surveying and checking topographical maps and producing topographical maps. Our electrical engineers, I mean, well, they're doing tremendous work in working with like transistors and building analog electronic circuits and building digital circuits and systems. And our mechatronics are into robotics, and there's so many different things I can get into. I don't want to belittle any of the major. All the majors are great. So what happens if you pick a CTE major? First of all, a lot of our curriculum is based on project-based learning. So meaning we're not just about, teaching rigor in the classroom, it's about collaborating with other students. And that's super important in this day and age. What we want students to feel comfortable with each other, to be able to communicate, collaborate, work through differences, have different strengths, have different places where they need more support. And it's really about like having that really genuine work experience that that you would have in the industry. And that's really important, right? That's the foundation of all of our classes to make sure that students are prepared to be leaders. And I think that's what really sets our programs apart, right? So it's not just about learning stuff in the classroom. It's about learning how to, be a leader in a field or an industry. And going back to those choices, it's not really like you're committing to being in any one of these fields, but you're getting a lot of the coursework that you would see in a university level. So it gives you a taste of it. And this is great in two ways. One, if you're something you're interested in, you could fall more in love with it. You can see more about it. You can find out more about what the different courses are. Two, if you're not in love with it, if it's something that you're not really sure of, you find it out now before finding that out in, the first 2 years of university. So that's super important. Something else that's important is that our teachers usually, 99% of the time have industry experience. So they're another resource. So our students go to the teachers and say, hey, what was it like working in like Audible? What was it like working for Google? What was it like working for Goldman Sachs? What was it like working at a nuclear power plant? What was it like working as a trader on Wall Street? What is it like working, building guitar pedals? All sorts of different questions. Our teachers are resources for your students. So it's really important that they have that kind of ability to go reach out to, basically leaders in industry who happen to also be their teachers. So that's super important. Another important facet of this program is that students will be getting about at least 54 hours of paid internship experience. And this is tremendous. I mean, imagine coming out of high school with 54 hours of a legitimate internship experience at a company doing different work-based learning challenges where we, set up like a hackathon or a project that's really grounded and that's something that's happening in the industry, supervised by somebody in the industry. This is like, really mind-boggling that the kids are getting 54 hours of this experience before they even set foot at the university level. Super, super important. Something else I want to talk about too, that I just want to mention is there's a lot of different college opportunities that really aren't being taken advantage of by some of our students, or let's say they may not be aware of this. So for instance, going into the CTE majors, there are a lot of articulation agreements. So for instance, some of you may know, like, if you take DDP, like you can get college credit for that, right? Also, if you take a digital electronics course, which is part of a couple of our majors, you get college credit for that. If you take our civil engineering and architecture courses, you can receive college credit for that, all from like RIT and respected universities. We also have articulation agreements with other universities. So to sort of cast a wide net of different colleges that you'll have sort of more doors open to give you an example, I mean, Long Island University across the street from Brooklyn Tech has given our computer engineering, or formerly known as software engineering program, essentially 1 year off the timetable for earning a bachelor's degree. And if you have above a certain GPA, I believe that GPA is around like an 85-ish, you would basically essentially get a free ride, and then that's 3 years to earn your bachelor's. They would give you credit for a lot of the coursework you've completed at Brooklyn Tech. St. Francis College is doing something very similar. And while some of those colleges may not be on everyone's radar, they're very good options to have, in terms of affordability, in terms of just time-wise. I mean, students want to really go into graduate school, like this is something to consider. We had one student basically earn their PhD, right? They went to Long Island University and within 3 years got a bachelor's and a master's degree, and then went on to become like at Yale, the highest funded, PhD student. So there's a lot of different opportunities out there. I want to announce a new, and this is the first time I'm saying this, amongst a large group, but we're celebrating a brand new a brand new articulation with RPI, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, where they're pledging essentially $100,000, over the course of 4 years for any of our students with a 3.25 who come from our CTE program and pick one of their majors. So this is one of the top engineering universities in the world who are, confident with the curriculum that we have. And they're going to collaborate with us on our curriculum, making sure that things that we're teaching in the classroom are really up to date and at cutting edge for the university level and beyond. So that's really exciting news. And these kind of options, really, you're not aware of and you're not thinking about in sophomore year, but picking one of our CTE majors would really, give you access to that. Next, I mentioned that, we're rebranding our software engineering program. So that's going to be
手机
called
在充电那里呀，我有你。
So our software engineering program will become a computer engineering because that's going to reflect more of where we've gone, right? Most of our programs, all of our programs actually, are constantly being innovated so that they're never the same as they were 5 years ago. And we've just made that jump from teaching mostly software to now more AI infrastructure, teaching about Linux, teaching about big data, teaching about machine learning. All the different pieces of components that are behind AI are now incorporated and embedded in our computer engineering program. We're also teaching students hardware because this is where more like the industry is going. They're getting mobile app development where they're developing iOS apps for like iPhones, iPads, and MacBooks, but they're also developing Android applications. And then now they're doing a web development using AI. So they're learning about prompt engineering and how like developers are working now these days where they're required to use AI for different code review, for looking at different bugs, or for helping to design a system. They're also learning cybersecurity, and there's many different certifications that students are learning. So we're really excited about this one rebrand because really this is, sort of indicative of the change or transition we've made over the past couple of years to really stay up to date and current and, sort of front run to make sure our skills are future-proofed. And I want to say that about the CTE program in general. Don't get nervous about, choosing a major and everything like that and whatnot, and what the name of the major is and where you think the careers are and all that. I want everyone to look at the skill set, look at what you'll learn, look at the experience you'll have with the different items in that major. So definitely take a close look at our CTE majors where they're learning remarkable things and getting access to experiences from a very early age from industry vetted, professionals, and taking certification exams and industry vetted exams, proving that they have the ability to essentially be workplace ready by the time they graduate. I know everyone's going to college after that, but still, that where that makes a difference is that think about being competitive for an internship the minute you walk into the door of your college or university, right? As opposed to someone coming in from another school where it perhaps takes them 2 years of coursework to sort of get that skill set to really make them competitive. But now our students are coming in with work experiences that are like, phenomenal for a freshman in college. So I really want you to take a very, very close look. I mean, we're excited about the rebrand of software engineering to computer engineering. We're excited about our new partnership with RPI, which is going to give a really, a big shot in the arm financially to students, based on merit. and all the other articulation agreements that really give our students access to college level credits before they've even left Brooklyn Tech. And this is beyond AP classes, right? So it's not about like a school's decision whether or not to give you credit based on your AP score. This is actual something on a transcript that says you've earned these college credits, so they should be applied to your degree. So I know that was a lot. This is recorded, so you can always go, you can always rewind. But you can also feel free to contact me. I'm sure my contact information is on the Brooklyn Tech website, and it's M Rodriguez 194. So I'm Mark Rodriguez, again, the assistant principal of CTE and technology and engineering at Brooklyn Tech. And again, I really, really encourage you come to the major fair, ask questions of students, ask questions of the teachers, but really look at the skills that they will get and that leadership sort of that leadership push that's really unique to our CTE majors. So I think if there's any questions,
Great. Yes, that'd be great. Yes, we have time. We have time for a few questions. Sorry, my phone's, I've been getting spam calls all day.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I see one question. Is media communication major up to date?
Yeah, so we're making actually that's another major where we're making a lot of interesting changes to, right? So we're working on a, sort of a game design course that's going to be incorporated in that major. So that's pretty exciting. We're also working on getting a motion capture machines so we can do like a lot more sophisticated animation projects, and that's really unheard of at a high school level. So there are definitely definitely a lot of changes. And every major, every CTE major, we're really constantly renewing them to making sure that at least 20% of the curriculum is different than it was in the year prior. And some of the top colleges, oh, I'm sorry.
No, go. You got it.
Okay, yeah, some of the top colleges students go to. My goodness. I mean, listen, our CT major schools place students in all the, the Ivies, right? I mean, we have again the Columbias, the MITs, the Harvards, the Yales. I mean, the US, we really go all over the place. A lot of Brown University. We have students in a lot of different variety, and now we're going to have more students being placed at like RPI, which is a great engineering and technical school, and we're going to have more money support that. And I think what something is not really talked about more is that with this within the CTE program, you have this safety net of a lot of different schools that you can, tap into. So, you're making this decision in the sophomore year, and perhaps maybe the situation at home is that, you don't want to leave New York City. So you want to have as many options, and we have a lot of different options where you can get articulation agreements, where you could potentially, spend 1 or 2 years at a school within New York City, and then, transfer out to a school where you can earn, more merit-based scholarship. So really, I mean, we send the CTE is really one of the most competitive programs. When I say competitive, I mean that you're getting, some of the most distinguishers or, items that distinguish a student's application on the college. So I think that's super, super important that, you in the CTE major, you'll have a lot, you definitely differentiate yourself from everyone else applying to the top colleges. And this is another great question. Is AI incorporated into the media communication major? Yeah, I mean, listen, at this point, we're community, it really would be irresponsible for us not to incorporate AI in a lot of our majors and in most of our majors. So we are, right? Because we realize that, more so it's a tool. There's a lot of talk about AI, replacing a lot of jobs and things like that. But I want to make it clear that what we're more, concerned with is really preparing our students to use AI as a tool so we future-proof them with skills, right? We make them leaders in using AI, not just dependent on AI or learning skills with that. So like, for instance, in the media major, where they're going to be learning a game design course that's going to be brand new, they're going to be using AI to generate some of the code. But the question will be, how do they use that responsibly? How do they know? How can they debug that what the AI is giving them makes any sense? So paid internships, how to apply it. Okay. So for instance, so New York City, by virtue of being a CTE program, and there's a lot of paperwork and a lot of state regulations we follow, that, basically the internship payment comes from the city, from New York City. So a lot of times we place students usually at the end of their sophomore year, spring semester to junior years when you'll, typically get a placement, but you'll be working closely with a work-based learning coordinator that will sort of figure out where student lives and what workplaces or what companies are offering internships and experiences, and you'll get paired with an internship experience, and that payment will come from New York City. So students typically get, minimum wage, sometimes slightly more, but it's around minimum wage. But again, this is payment that comes from New York City. So why is that important? Is because when we go approach a company and says, "Hey, we have a student for an internship," really that company, we've removed that barrier, that financial barrier of a company saying, "Well, we can't really pay interns right now." So we've taken that away by using the city's funding for that. So that's super, super important. Things like the ACE program, I mean, it's great. I mean, there's going to be more internship opportunities that we're sort of building in that I'm excited about. Once those DOTLs come out, you'll learn more about it, but probably closer to major fair. But there's a lot of different, range of internships. I mean, Department of Buildings, JP Morgan, Amazon, Con Ed has been a place we've placed students. I mean, it's really all over the place.
And we've got two more questions, and
Yep.
then I'm sorry, I will have to
No
wrap it up
problem. Oh, that's
for our
okay.
vendor fair, but we've got two good questions there.
Okay, so I see that most of the college credit courses are happening at Brooklyn Tech with our teachers. So our teachers are certified, and a lot of our teachers are actually college professors or adjuncts in other places. So they're not leaving the building. We don't have somebody else that's with a DOE vetted teacher, but someone who's gotten who's been certified and has the ability to teach a college level course. And the school definitely helps with finding the internships. And you'd be surprised that, in aerospace engineering, we do find a bunch of different internships. And some of those are remote, so sometimes you might be, intimidated and say, oh, there's not really that many type of companies, but we find them. We find internships.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rodriguez. We really appreciate you coming tonight, especially with major selection coming. Gives parents a lot to think about.
Feel free to reach out, everyone, please. I know, I'm inviting everyone to hit my inbox, but that's fine. That's what I'm here for. I really want to give us, you give us the best of your time. You've given us your children, which is wonderful, and we want to give them the best experience at Brooklyn Tech.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. You have a great night.
You too.
Thanks. All right, Teresa, are you going to introduce our vendors and have them give us a couple minute introduction before we move into the breakouts?
Yes, I will. I have their two liners, which I wrote up already. And then after their biographies, we will go into how we're going to handle each breakout room so that everybody understands what's going on. Let me go to my tab. So this is in no particular order, but let us start with your best college essay. This is Robert Schwartz, founder and president of Your Best College Essay, with a background in writing for film, TV, print, and online, who has helped 1,800 college applicants secure hundreds of acceptances to Ivy League, Ivy Plus, and other top universities since 2010. He brings dual expertise in storytelling and admissions to craft standout essays that resonate with selective schools. Our next sponsor is Empowerly. Empowerly is with Elias, and Alex Mann will be the speaker. Alex is a Columbia English graduate with 6 years in college admissions, guiding 9th to 12th grade students to craft standout essays, passion projects, and competitive awards that have helped hundreds gain admission to top universities like Cornell, Duke, UPenn, MIT, and more. A storyteller with a STEM admissions edge, she emphasizes authentic, tailored applications that let each student's personality shine while enjoying crocheting, plants, and 20th century weird fiction in her free time. The next person is Crimson. This is Aiden Cadley, an admissions insider with a BA from Tulane, an EDM from HGSE, and current Duke MBA studies, bringing firsthand experience as a senior counselor at Tulane and as a Harvard application reader and interviewer. At Crimson, he guides students into Ivy League and top 20 universities, Stanford, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Vanderbilt, Dartmouth, and Columbia, while supporting their long-term growth and confidence. The next person is Dr. Cynthia Colon, best-selling author, TEDx speaker, and college admissions expert who mentors students from diverse backgrounds to gain admissions to top 50 and Ivy League colleges, with a track record of over 10,000 students across 90+ high schools and 20+ states and more than 25 million in scholarships. Founder of TEDx Los Angeles Talk College and a prolific advocate for accessible student-centered admissions guidance fueled by a lifelong love of football and sports. And then lastly, we have College Prep 360. We have both Christina Grover and Jean Erickson. Christine is a seasoned college admissions counselor with over a decade of experience helping international students gain acceptance to top universities, including roles as an application reader for UC Berkeley and Northeastern University. She focuses on colleges that fit and align with students' strengths and goals, backed by award-winning service and leadership training. Jean is a dynamic college prep 360 counselor who guides students through the college admissions process with a collaborative student-centered approach. She empowers students to identify strengths and interests and pursue pathways that align with their post-secondary goals. Hold on, I'm going back to the Zoom because that was me reading from my little notes. First, I represent Brooklyn Tech and the PA, and I want to give a big shout out and thank you to all our sponsors. Without these relationships, we would not be as successful as we are because the journey to higher education for all of our students relies on these relationships with you. And again, I applaud you for your time and your sponsorships to help enable these students to be able to walk their journey to college. The way we are going to handle the breakout rooms is simple. We will break everybody out into a room, i.e. like COVID, but we will parachute all the sponsors in instead of 50 people moving all at once. So we are going to parachute everyone. All of the sponsors did receive the order in which we will parachute you in. Every sponsor will have a set time limit to speak. We will give 2 minutes for changeover. If you guys have slides, please make sure they're queued up so that when we parachute you in, you're ready. We will give you 2-minute warning when the session ends, and then everybody will be brought back into the main room. Hopefully there will be no glitches. I know from certain sponsors, we had Zoom disasters, one right after the other. So cross your fingers it doesn't happen. I am going to check with my monitors. Amy and Kate, are my monitors all ready? And by the way, you will be assigned rooms that are called apple, banana, I forgot what the C was. Cantaloupe?
Clementine.
Clementine, dragon fruit, and elderberry. So you guys don't get confused with A, B, C, or D. So just remember the room that you were in last. If not, refer to the cheat grid that I sent you all, sponsors. Just remember, you're being parachuted in. Parents, if you have questions and they don't get to your questions, please make sure you put them into the chat so we can screen grab them and get all the questions you have back to each sponsor. The sponsors will hopefully provide us with any type of, yeah, I know, Cynthia, I'm doing the whole thing again with my hands. Provide us with the presentation slides for us to refer to. And again, please, any questions, they go right into the chat. Katie, are we ready to launch?
Ready to launch.
And
Here we go.
everybody, I'm sorry, before we do, I just want to let we are not recording the breakout rooms. That's what we will try and get some information for you that we can provide, but I don't want you to be disappointed. We are not recording the breakout rooms. All right,
Okay.
Katie, it's on. You go. How'd it go?
Good.
Thank you, everybody. I was just actually just thanking my group, Chris and Lily and Sandy, for asking questions. We had very nice, well-behaved people in my group that they were shy, so they were asking questions on their behalf, which is wonderful. Is there anything that you guys would like to put in the chat? Are there any questions that didn't get answered?
Kim, before everyone leaves, if there are any senior parents, I just wanted to remind them that the cap and gown form is due tomorrow at 8 a.m. and the senior dues are due on the 23rd, which is the Monday they return, as well as the merchandise. So tomorrow for cap and gown and the Monday, February 23rd, for the senior dues and any merchandise.
Thanks, Tiffany. You were my next, any announcements that Tiffany has, because I'll never remember that, and she's so good. So people, if you're senior parents, please, I hope you heard what Tiffany just said, and get all of that done. All right. Anything else that you guys would like? We would really love to thank the vendors for sticking around and doing this. And I actually noticed, which I was very happy in the group that we were in, people stuck around, people didn't go home, which was wonderful. I think that just, is a tribute to all of our wonderful speakers tonight that you engaged the parents and you gave a lot of valuable information to them. And I'm sure they will be reaching out to you for more information. And any questions before we move for a motion to adjourn?
Hey Kim, it's Nadej. I just wanted to say
Oh,
a special thank you to Teresa for putting this together.
yes, I'm sure she's going to. She doesn't drink, so I'm going to have a glass of wine for her because, and also to Katie tonight because Leslie's always done it for a great job for us in the past, but because we're all graduating out, we try to bring in our freshman reps, and I'm sure it was extremely stressful, Katie, but you did a fantastic job. Thank you so much. There's a question, that Tiffany, I'm going to let you go for that about, did anyone answer this yet about the difference between Naviance and Overgrad?
I can probably answer that since I'm a user for both tools.
Go, Amy, go.
Okay, so Overgrad has analysis tools that allows you to see the whole school side by side with each other, whereas Naviance sort of jam-packed into a spreadsheet that you can download perhaps, but it's harder to manage, at least the version that we've used in the past. But ultimately, the two tools are very similar. They're both used for analyzing the stats of our past students that have been applied through this the set of schools that kids like to use, like to apply, but and it's used by our school to synchronize with Common App to apply to colleges. And I believe Overgrad actually had the UC schools in them, whereas Naviance did not. So Overgrad has a bit more schools available. So I hope that helps.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you.
Mhm.
And we do apologize, the SUNY College tour being tonight. It's unfortunate, but it is those tours, just so, as my third senior this year, your children could go to that. It's okay because ultimately, while we want to, make the decision, it's really up to them. So they should be going. You can be here and gain some information, but the kids should be going because if they're not interested in the school, then don't waste your time. You really have to. They have to be engaged and find it interesting. Virtual tour. I don't know. Does anyone know the answer? Are the virtual tours record? I mean, to be honest with you, I've never done my
They're
3 children. I've never done a virtual tour. Tiffany?
So they're not recorded, and this is a series. So even if your child or you missed it today, they may come back in the future or in the fall. So that's something, or you can even go to the website of the specific college and sign up. It doesn't have to be through Brooklyn Tech. It's just nice to have through Brooklyn Tech. Just our relationship with the admissions officers. Usually 3, 4, 5 colleges present a night, but if you want a full hour, virtual session, you can definitely go to every school and pick a day and time that works.
And thank you, Tiffany. And also, there is a college fair at Brooklyn Tech where your students will be able to go. Did parents go last year, Tiffany? They did, yes.
No, it's
Did-
students only.
It's students only. Okay.
Only.
I'm that's how old I am because we used to be able to go, but honestly, it is meant for the kids because you need your children again to go to where they find interest and ask questions. But you can give your child a list of schools that you'd like them to visit, and we have so many schools that will come to that event. That we are on more than one floor. It's really quite crowded, and it's a great opportunity for your kids to get more information about any school. So if they miss a tour, don't worry, they can go and talk to the admissions officers during the college night.
Is on April 30th.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Kim,
So
Kim,
tell
can
your
I?
kids to put that on the list. Go right ahead.
Kim, can I just, this is directed to all the vendors. I want to take a moment to thank you all for keeping it real with all the parents because it's not like I was like, I didn't want fluff. I was hoping no fluff, and you guys delivered because it's like realistically, like the parents have all these like anxiety and expectations, and You guys are the experts, and as long as you can calm other parents down, knowing that your kid is gonna get into a college, they're gonna do well. Okay? Just don't have a heart attack in the process. Starting in freshman year, freshman parents, I'm not trying to scare you, but they will succeed. They will find the resources and succeed. And again, the event sponsors, thank you so much for keeping it real.
It's and they can be of such a huge help to you. But yes, but don't lose faith in your kids because yes, I mean I think my son he would kill me now. That I think at one point in 10th grade he had a 64 in AP World History, and I thought it was the end of the world, and I was sobbing. And he's a nuclear test engineer now. So yes, it all works out. They're gonna be fine. I didn't give his name, so I think I'm okay, right? All right, just checking my daughter. That they will be fine. There's a reason, and things will work out for the best. Where your child belong, they'll end up where they really belong. But our vendors, again, they are there to help you go through this extremely stressful time. It really is. It gets easier with each child, though. For those of you that have more than one child, it does get easier because I don't even care about her. She's done. Um, but it does get easier. I'm sorry, but I don't. But any other questions? All right, then I'm going to look for a motion to adjourn.
Adjourned.
Motion to
And
adjourn.
second,
Second.
thank you all. I think this was a great night, and again, we thank you all for sticking around, and to these wonderful vendors who support Brooklyn Tech. All of you, they do, and we are so grateful for their support. Thank you, everybody.